Good afternoon, and welcome to Stevens Life, a show produced in association with Stevens College and Columbia Access Television. This show is the result of collaboration between the Schools of Interdisciplinary Studies and Organization Leadership and Strategic Communication. Content has been provided by the staff of Stevens Life magazine. Technical expertise has been provided by Chase Thompson studio production class. Hi, I'm Leslie Nielsen.
And I'm Samantha Galati. Now to the news. One of the biggest changes to greet students this fall has been the arrival of new residents at the Brookside apartment complex, which is now nearing completion on the corner of College Avenue and Walnut Street. The majority of its residents, who are mostly MU students, anticipated moving in before the school year started. A fire of unknown origin burned large sections of the structure, with smoke causing some damage to the rest of it. Displaced residents took up temporary residence in Stevens Hillcrest Hall, moving from there and into their apartment units in October. The owners of the apartment complex paid Stevens to house its residents and will pay the cost to clean up the rooms they used.
Stevens Life heard from many students who were not pleased with the arrangement, complaining about their lack of respect for the building and others who live there. For their parts, Brookside residents anticipated living independently and were not excited to return to life in dorms, even temporary and largely free of the watchful eyes of an RA.
Related to that has been the issue of parking, which was a real problem for students and faculty at the beginning of the school year. With the addition of 300 residents and their cars at the apartment complex that does not yet have a parking structure. Students said the side streets around Stevens are more crowded with cars than usual, and parking lots are full. Still, the Department of Security undertook an early effort to boot cars parked illegally and says that parking is ample.
Another attempt to solve the parking issue has been the institution of FastCat, a bus service that runs a 40-minute circuit between Stevens, the district, and MU. For more on this, we go to reporter Sam Geary. Sam?
FastCat uses two buses that run Monday through Sunday and operate 2:30 a.m. Thursday through Saturday. Transit officials estimate that they provide about 1,200 rides each week. The route has more than 20 stops and passes through Stevens, downtown Columbia, Mizzou campus, and Boone County Hospital. City Transportation Supervisor Drew Brooks says that he hopes to expand the partnership to other major constituents like Stevens College by creating contracts where students would receive passes throughout each semester through the school. Further funding for the bus system comes from the students and residents buying semester passes or paying per ride. Individual semester passes are $100, but if bought in groups of 20 people or more, the passes are only $60.50 per person. The passes allow for free transfers to other routes in Columbia, including buses that reach Walmart, Target, and the mall. If buying one ride, the cost is at the door is $1.50. For more information, go to ridefastcat.com. Back to you, Samantha.
Thanks, Sam. Also involving traffic, a Stevens student was hit crossing Broadway, something that students do frequently despite the recently refurbished bridges that cross the busy thoroughfare at the corner of Broadway and College Avenue. Still, walking to the bridges for a safe crossing takes time and energy. Students asked whether the college could develop a plan for a safer and more convenient crossing across Broadway near the Helix Communication Center. But it is a city issue over which the school has no jurisdiction or liability.
In more Stevens-related news, the college welcomed a new vice president of academic affairs. Annette Digby joined the administration on July 1st, replacing Nancy Cornwell, who held the position during the last school year.
I haven't met her yet.
Well, Colby Elliott will tell us more. Colby?
Mississippi native Annette Digby did not get her start in higher education, nor did she anticipate her career would take her where she has been, but her philosophy through her career transformation has remained intact. Your only obligation in life is to be true to yourself. After completing her undergraduate and graduate studies at Mississippi State in education, Digby taught high school English for 12 years in Lowndes County, Mississippi. Although she misses K through 12 even to this day, she knew she wanted something more out of education. In 1989, Digby completed her doctorate in education at the University of Alabama and accepted a position at the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville. Half of her time was spent as a faculty member, the other half working in administration. After several years of this, Digby found herself at a crossroads: stay in Arkansas or leave and become a dean. Digby chose the latter. She accepted an associate dean position at the City University of New York in the Bronx. After 5 years, Digby was promoted to the Dean of Education. She stayed at CUNY for a total of 7 years, but because she wanted to be closer to her family in Arkansas, she began applying for vice president positions to work more closely with central administration. After overseeing other academic departments, this brought her to Stevens College. The first time she came to Stevens for our interview, Digby was sold with the entire atmosphere. Digby says, "It was the whole atmosphere at the college. Everyone at Stevens knows why we're committed, and this comes out clearly." Aside from professional strengths, Digby is deeply rooted in her personal beliefs. First, she encourages students to have a work-life balance, inspired by a principle she worked with in Arkansas. Work hard, play hard, she says. She believes that if we let one area dominate our lives, we miss out on the wide range of experience. To her, this statement is particular to not only herself, but to the Stevens community at large. Back to you, Leslie.
Thank you, Kobe, for that report. Other changes around campus include the college ending its relationship with the MU bookstore to operate the bookshelf. Now called Susie's, the store stocks school supplies and convenience items that can be paid for using flex points.
The Department of Information Technology has also undertaken some initiatives, developing the portal. This came online last year and provides a one-stop shop where students can sign in once and access all Stevens-related online applications, such as My Stevens, their student email, as well as Blackboard and more. IT is also working to provide shared server space to all students so they can save their work from any computer and access it from any other computer in the school's network. And in collaboration with the Office of Registrar, students will soon be able to sign themselves up for classes, no longer relying on their advisors to generate their class schedules. This change will take place almost immediately, with students registering for spring classes, relying on meetings with advisors to plan their schedules and eventually approve them.
In terms of new initiatives, in the Office of Admissions, reporter Danny Kelly has that story. Danny?
Thanks, Leslie. Vice President of Strategic Enrollment Management, Suzanne Sharp, is enthusiastic about the updated recruiting process, which involves contracting with Noel Levitz, a consulting firm. Sharp says that this firm breaks down every demographic detail for colleges to pinpoint prospective students for schools like Stevens to better match students to institutions of higher education. The admissions office has hired new admissions counselors. Sharp calls her team experienced, passionate, and educated. This team, as well as the one from the previous year, is what helped bring in the 138 freshmen and the 42 transfer students, for a grand total of 180 new faces on campus. Along with the 355 returning students, that brings Stevens' student body to just under 550. For next year, the department has budgeted for 175 new students, but Sharp wants freshman enrollment to be over 300, nearly double that number. To that end, every potential student will receive a postcard that includes information about campus visit events, such as Open House, Scholars Weekend, and Experience Stevens. Sharp and the rest of the admissions counselors also work on campus to increase enrollment by conducting a focus group. The information shared in the forums is analyzed and applied to the marketing process. As the year progresses, more information about academic enrollment will follow, with an update about marketing initiatives and the responses and the results of these efforts. Back to you, Sam.
Thanks, Danny. Another issue around campus has been the increase of pets in the dorms. I don't currently live in a pet dorm. What about you, Leslie?
I don't now, but I used to live in Tower Hall last year. This year they have a pet floor as well.
For more on this, we turn to Emily Menemeyer. Emily?
Of the 5 occupied dorms at Stevens College, 3 allow pets. Searcy and Prenti halls allow pets on all floors, and Tower Hall allows pets on its second floor. In all, these 3 dorms house roughly 50 pets. Tower Hall, which began allowing pets this summer, is newest to the pet program. And though there are more pets now than last year, there has not been an increase in pet-related incidents. Ryan Smith, director of the Department of Residence Life, said that other than general pet accidents, there hasn't been a lot of issues stemming from pets. Tower and Prenti halls house both pet owners and non-pet owners. Samantha Thompson, a senior pet owner who lives in Tower Hall, thinks this can sometimes cause problems. Thompson said people that don't have pets don't always understand the process of acclimating a pet to a new environment. This is especially true of rescue dogs. Thompson's rescue dog, Wego, a Chihuahua Terrier mix, sometimes barks when Thompson leaves for work early in the morning. According to Thompson, WeGo is still getting used to living in a different place, and it has been a long adjustment process. Aubrey Schlepp, a sophomore who does not own a pet, lives on the second floor in Prunty. She enjoys the pets on the floor, but she does notice that Prunty smells like animals. Students who do not have pets on campus may not understand that bringing a pet involves more than just transportation and shelter. Stevens requests specific information from pet owners. To bring a pet on campus, students must complete a pet program agreement, which includes providing vaccination records, registering their pet with the city, filling out an informational sheet, and providing recent pictures of their pets. Either way, pets are here to stay. And now to Leslie with sports.
Thanks, Emily. Making a good first impression can be daunting, and the soccer team in its first year here at Stevens is in that situation. The team's first appearance came during their first game on September 22nd in Columbia Cosmopolitan Recreation Area. They played Missouri Baptist University. Missouri Baptist is considered the best team in the NAIA. From Chesterfield, Missouri, Baptist was 9 games into their season, making them both well-practiced and ready to play. Stevens lost with a final score of 0-14. That trend has continued throughout a scoreless season with losses of as great as by 22 to Park University, as to 5 and 7 to William Woods and Hannibal LaGrange Universities, respectively. Soccer coach Xander Kennedy said at the time that there's every reason to believe that this is going to be hard on us. Everything is working against us, Kennedy said. We're going to keep fighting. Stevens' other teams have also had difficulty seasons. Despite fan support, the volleyball team will end the season with more losses than wins. They go into tonight's final game, which is against Columbia College, with a record of 9-20. Otherwise, sports budgets seem to have shrunk, which has some athletes who participate in spring sports rather pessimistic. Rudy Petrie has this story. Rudy?
Thank you, Leslie. At a recent meeting discussing new purchases with the softball team, Coach Killian Kramer asked what athletes would rather have, a travel suit or cleats. Hands were thrown up for the cleats, but the travel suit won. Athletic Director Deb Duran says the school's sports budget is at the very bare minimum of what they need. Right now, the softball team is hitting balls off of a tee and 2 street cones. Kramer said that people think that you need a lot of equipment to play the game of softball, but in reality, they don't need all that much. The budget currently provides the team with the field, which is taken care of by the city, uniforms, helmets, a small indoor batting cage, a couple of old bats, a bucket of balls, and newly purchased practice clothes. Budget changes from sport to sport, depending on conference requirements and the number of students on the team. She said that Coach Lana Richmond at SEMO taught her a lot about the budget, and she always tried her best to stay frugal, which helps as she continues her first year with our softball team. Brooke Warren, a senior on the softball team, said that performances could be improved with access to better equipment, and that the budget could not have been much bigger, or would not have to be much bigger to make an impact on the sports programs across our campus. Warren said that she could see the obvious distinctions between Stevens' athletic budgets compared to others in the conference, such as having to do much fundraising. Athletes purchase their own equipment, including cleats, gloves, and batting gloves, which Warren says are necessary items. With the current budget, Kramer would like to purchase more bats for the team and a pitching mat for the pitchers. Fundraising will provide the team with travel suits. An increased budget could help accommodate the time each athlete spends practicing for their sport and attending games. Warren said that athletes put in a lot of hours, hard work, and go through a lot of stress in an attempt to manage school, athletics, and, in many cases, jobs. The team should at least be afforded a budget that allows them to have the tools necessary to showcase that effort and to represent our school well. Despite the outcomes of the game, Duran said that she is continually proud of what the student athletes and coaches do with the little funding and the lack of top-flight facilities. Duran said that the coaches recruit good student athletes, and she is proud of their academic achievements. Back to you, Leslie.
Thanks, Rudy. The softball season begins February 23rd with a home game against Ottawa University, and practice is already underway. We now go to Samantha in the Weather Center for a look at local and international weather. Samantha?
Thank you, Leslie. For Halloween, the high temperature is 58 degrees with a west wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Kansas City was sunny with temperatures around 61 degrees. St. Louis temperatures are slightly lower, experiencing a high of 58 degrees and west-northwest winds of between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Around the country this Halloween, let's start in Salem, Massachusetts, where there was rain in the morning but sunshine throughout the afternoon. The high temperature was 57 degrees. In the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, New York City has a high of 51 degrees and a 50% chance of rain. Los Angeles had partly cloudy skies with a high near 68 degrees and light and variable winds. Chicago was cool and windy with a high near 48 degrees and northwest winds between 20 and 30 miles per hour. Internationally, Cairo, Egypt had intervals of clouds and sunshine this morning. It was cloudy in the afternoon with a high temperature of 82 degrees. In Manila, Philippines, it was mostly sunny with temperatures of 91 degrees and northeast winds of 7 miles per hour. My pick city for this afternoon is London, where the temperature was 54 degrees with a 40% chance of rain and winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour from the southwest. Back to you, Leslie.
Thanks, Samantha. That's it for this broadcast, so thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in next time, 3 p.m. on December 5th, and weekly next semester for more Stevens Life. In the meantime, read the latest news and information at stevens.edu/StevensLife. And follow us on Twitter at Stevens_Life. Thanks again to Stevens College and its participating schools, Columbia Access Television, and our viewers. For tonight's newscast, I'm your host, Leslie Nielsen.
And I'm Samantha Glotty. Thanks for watching and have a happy and safe Halloween.